Welcome to the Den, the Dark Entertainment Network. I'm the Gothic Rose, and this is the dark tale of the day. Let me take this moment to reintroduce myself. I am the Gothic Rose, hostess of the Dark Entertainment Network. This is a channel where the news meets conspiracy theories and makes babies in my brain, and it comes out my mouth. I do this because I enjoy it. If you like this type of content, please follow along, because I'm not going to stop. Thank you for joining me. This is a story I have been waiting to tell. I feel it's a bit apropos for this time. But before I continue, I would like to take a moment of silence for all of the victims and the families of the Black Hawk American Airlines crash. And now I'd like to talk about something from the past that could have a lot of impact on what's going on today. And that is the story of Valiant Thor and Dwight D. Eisenhower. Thank you for joining me. This is a story I have been waiting to tell. I feel it's a bit apropos for this time. But before I continue, I would like to take a moment of silence for all of the victims and the families of the Black Hawk American Airlines crash. Did Dwight D. Eisenhower turn down the offer by Valiant Thor to get rid of nuclear weapons because he thought that Russia was keeping theirs? Well, there is no credible historical records that suggest this happened specifically after meeting with Valiant Thor, but this adds to the folklore because Eisenhower's Atoms for Peace initiative aimed to promote the peaceful use of nuclear energy while managing the risks associated with nuclear weapons. Additionally, there were discussions within his administration about the use and testing of nuclear weapons. Is this why we now know that he met with a man called Valiant Thor, allegedly? The year 1957. The date, March 16th. That is when this alleged extraordinary event took place at the Pentagon. According to Dr. Frank E. Strange's book, Stranger at the Pentagon, a man identifying himself as Valiant Thor claimed to be a visitor from the planet Venus. Now, Thor's appearance was strikingly human, but his knowledge and technology far surpassed Earth's capabilities. Thor's mission was to warn Earth about the dangers of nuclear weapons and to offer solutions to the world's problems. With the Undersecretary of Defense, Valiant Thor was taken via an underground tunnel to a secret meeting with President Dwight D. Eisenhower and Vice President Richard Nixon, and this meeting reportedly lasted about an hour and covered various global issues. Now, following this meeting, Valiant Thor spent the evening at an Army receptionist's office in the Pentagon and stayed on Earth for 3 years, working closely with top scientists and government officials, sharing his advanced technology and knowledge. His presence was really just highly confidential, and only a select few were aware of his true identity. This is absolutely incredible because we would have never known about any of this had it not been for this book, allegedly. But the very interesting thing is with this rumor out there that Eisenhower could have gotten rid of nuclear weapons, but instead chose to find a way to peacefully use them. Dwight D. Eisenhower's great-granddaughter, Laura, has spoken out about this alleged meeting with Valiant Thor, and she has been involved in discussions about UFOs and extraterrestrial encounters and shared her views on her great-grandfather's alleged interactions. She has expressed skepticism about some of the claims and sought to clear her great grandfather's name from these accusations related to these encounters. She has spoken and shared her perspective on various platforms. She has also been invited into broader discussions about UFOs and extraterrestrial encounters, and she emphasizes the need for critical thinking and careful consideration of the evidence. Her involvement in these discussions highlights an ongoing interest and curiosity surrounding the UFO history and alleged government interactions with extraterrestrial beings. But it's been all over Congress lately that these beings and these craft are out there. They're saying some are reverse engineered, but I don't believe we on Earth can make them to a scale that they're big enough for a city. We don't have those resources, but maybe some of the smaller ones that we see could be reverse engineering. We don't know. If you do want to hear more, you can check out the YouTube video Eye-Opening Disclosures and Communications with Val, Thor, Elena Dan, Laura Eisenhower. That's available on YouTube. And in this video, Laura Eisenhower shares her insights and perspectives on these alleged encounters. So this is what the book Strangers at the Pentagon is about. This is a humanoid alien named Valiant Thor who visits Earth in 1957. And according to the book, he, like I said, met with Dwight D. Eisenhower and Richard Nixon at the Pentagon to discuss the dangers of nuclear weapons. They gave him VIP status and allowed him to stay at the Pentagon for 3 years. And as I said, he worked with the government to offer solutions to problems. But he goes into great detail about his interactions, Valiant Thor, with various high-ranking officials and his efforts to promote peace and cooperation, which it doesn't seem like that happened. But Dr. Frank E. Strange's claims to have befriended Thor and documented these events through a firsthand account of the aliens' visit. And of course, there's all of this curiosity sparked about it. So if that's a book you want to read, you've got to grab a copy. Sounds like a fantastic read to me. If you want a book club with all of these crazy books, let me know. Not crazy in a bad way, like awesome crazy. But I think that it would be a fantastic discussion to have on many of these subjects if you keep an open mind. But the strangest part of this whole story is that Valiant Thor was supposedly from the planet Venus, not Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, none of those. Venus. Now, Venus being the second planet from the sun, first, of course, is named after the Roman goddess of love and beauty. And Venus is often referred to as Earth's sister planet due to its similar size and mass. It has a diameter of about 12,104 kilometers, which is 7,521 miles, making it only slightly smaller than Earth, but it has an incredibly thick atmosphere composed mainly of carbon dioxide with clouds of sulfuric acid, and this creates a runaway greenhouse effect, leading to surface temperatures that average around 465 degrees Celsius, which is 869 degrees Fahrenheit, and it is the hottest planet on our solar system. So it is strange that someone who looks humanoid would be able to survive in this environment unless they don't live on the surface of Venus, but underneath, like an inner Venus. So a day in Venus, one full rotation on its axis, is longer than a year on Venus, one full orbit around the sun. It takes about 243 Earth days for Venus to complete one rotation, while its orbit around the sun takes about 255 Earth days. That is really wild. So how do you even measure time? You don't, it seems. Venus rotates in the opposite direction to most planets in the solar system, meaning it has a retrograde rotation. If you were standing on Venus, the sun would appear to rise in the west and set in the east. Maybe that's why the days are longer than the years. And of course, its dense atmosphere, Venus exerts a surface pressure about 92 times that of Earth, which is roughly equivalent to pressure found 1,000 meters or 3,280 feet underwater. It has lots of volcanic activity and volcanic plains, but some scientists believe that Venus may have active volcanoes that can erupt and release lava. Unlike Earth, it does not have any natural satellites or moons, although there is the theory that our moon is not a natural satellite either, but was brought into orbit. And Venus has been explored by several spacecraft, including NASA's Magellan mission, which mapped the planet's surface using radar. The Soviet Union's Venera program also successfully landed several probes on the surface of Venus, but it has an extremely hostile environment. The conditions on Venus include high temperatures, crushing pressures, and corrosive atmosphere, making it one of the most challenging places to explore in the solar system. So I find it really incredible that this man named Valiant Thor, this humanoid alien, could possibly have lived on the planet Venus. But as we know, stranger things have happened. But I'd like to know your thoughts. If you like this type of content, please subscribe, follow along, leave a comment, and let me know what you think of the legend of Valiant Thor and Dwight D. Eisenhower. Thank you for joining me in the den.